Yes.
All
Yeah.
right. Well, I have quite a few positive areas, one of which is, I think, quite clear thinking. That is quite important, meaning I'm quite lucid about what I'm doing and what's happening. Occasionally, of course, I forget. So, it's quite clear about where I'm heading. It's quite clear about what's my daily activity. But at the same time, I do forget some items here and there. So generally, you got to know where you're heading, your direction. Now, in relation to God, I think I'm also waiting for Him to show me. Of course, we know the VTL now. Everybody's talking about that vaccine travel lane, and I'm just praying and ask the Lord to see. I've already prepared some of my materials for the Batam ministry and a bit more in other places. But I'm just waiting and see how to be soft. That's the other two. But personally, I think the strength is in the area of, I think, being friendly and available. Being friendly meaning I can speak to a lot of strangers without much difficulty. But I'm not sure whether they can accept me because I'm like a little bit of quirky. I mean, I don't want to say Dr. Bambunan is a very interesting guy. I think he can talk to a lot of people. He is very well read and very unique in his own way. So I haven't gone to that extent, but sometimes I can be a bit funny. I don't know how you call it in Hollywood, maybe, but in Bollywood. But I can get funny. Some people say you're crazy or something. That kind of thing. I don't know. The rest, I think I leave to y'all to comment what other areas. But praise the Lord for that. Of course, one of the other area, I wouldn't say bonus is with me. I think the Lord has put certain level of bonus in the area of evangelism. So because I can speak to strangers, I have the ability to be able to share. Now, it's not easy. You can talk to say, how are you, where you work and all that. When it comes to the gospel, it's different. So lately, I found that, yes, I've started again. A lot of my clients, because I help my wife to do the real estate, I do ask, hey, are you a Christian? It's just like a normal thing. Oh, I believe in God. So it's not easy to just ask, hey, why you ask this type of question? Very personal, no. So I praise the Lord for that. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Honey, now it's your turn to give the answer.
The question is, apa yang menguatkan
tahu nggak apa yang ada kekuatan dalam diri Ani? Kekuatan apa yang ada?
Kekuatan.
Ya, dalam itu apa yang kekuatan sehingga itu bisa memberkati orang. You can bless other people by the strength you have within you. You can bless other people. Okay. Okay. Tim Talpi, I asked them question. Do you know what strength do you have within you? Okay, now I give Hani to answer this question. After that, you can give the answer of that question. Okay, Hani first. Okay.
I'm awake. I don't know. I don't know what is the strength within me. Can bless other people. The question is like that.
Yeah, by the strength you have, you can encourage people. Yeah, you can help people. Whatever you can do with people by the strength you have within you. Okay.
Okay. The strength I have, maybe
must be sure.
So, Pak Tim aja. Continue with Pak Tim.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's
okay, you are the last.
No, honey, you are early bird. It's not easy for me to wake up. You're 5 to 6. You are an early bird.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the strength, okay? Not easy. Not many people, even like Raymond Tay, He
But I
cannot
don't
wake up.
know what is my wake up in the early morning bless other. I don't know.
But it's a
Meditation.
positive point. No? It's not easy to wake up 5, 6
Yeah.
o'clock. Okay, not easy. But you got no problem, and you're still now on the Zoom. So I think that's a big point. Okay, I can't. I'm still in my sleepy head sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, honey, please continue. Whatever you can mention, yeah.
Yeah. So that's one point.
Yeah, Pak David already answered for me. So that's it.
No, I got a lot more. I think.
I think I don't know what is my talent. Yeah, maybe you mean our
Talent.
talent.
Boleh. Talent. Boleh. Yeah.
Yeah, boleh.
Actually, I like I don't know how to say. Pak Tim lah, udah Pak Tim.
We'll come back to you. You can't escape.
Pak
Okay.
Tim.
I'm first. Yeah. After that, I give to Tim Tarpri, and then the last, honey.
Pak David.
Yeah. Okay. I know the strength I have in me. First, it's easy for me to get friends. Yeah. The first time that I met that person. So,
I'm not.
Yeah. It's easy for me to be friends with other people. And the second one also, I have strength to see the positive side of other people, even though they have a negative side. But I learn and I can see the positive side of the people. So from there, I tell to the people, you have positive side, that you must stand on the positive side you have. By doing so, the people understand if they have positive thoughts in their life, they can grow about their ability to see other people also about positive thoughts, and also they can be happy in the day of God has given to them. Yeah. So I have that ability, to see from other people the positive thoughts, yeah. And the third one also, it's easy for me to forgive others. Sometimes maybe people discourage me, or make me upset like that. But it's easy for me to to forgive other people's fault. I don't want to think a lot of other people's fault. So I make friends with them, and then I explain to them what they did to me, and then also I put away all something people have done to me. Yeah, that's I know the strength I have within me. Okay, Tim Tarpi. Okay, now you can explain to us the strength you have that God has given to you, and then Honey, Tim Tarpi, are you there? Yeah.
I think I'm still here. Can you see me?
Yeah.
Okay. I was just listening to you, Pat Rosita, and
It's a bit
maybe
soft.
you
A bit
don't hear me?
soft. You can speak louder.
I have to speak louder. Oh my. Let's see what happened here. Let me go and let's see if I
network bandwidth is
that
low.
better?
Okay, yeah, better, yeah.
Oh,
better. Yeah.
It's not better though. Right now you can't hear me. Can you hear me? No.
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah. Just go ahead.
Now it's better?
Yes.
Yes, it should be working right now. Okay. Let me just double check and see if it looks like it is. All right. My answer might be a little bit different because just about 3 or 4 years ago, I was like a lot like Hanny. When people would ask me, what's your strengths? And I go, I'm not sure.
That's quite honest.
So I was at a loss, like, and I would even I start asking myself, do I have any strengths? What are my strengths?
Just like honey, huh?
Well, yeah. And so, but about 3 years ago, I was talking to a gentleman at the school. He's no longer there. 3 or 4 years ago, I think it was. And we're in the library, and he talked about his strength. And he said, I'm a teacher. God made me a teacher. And then we got talking. I go, well, maybe the Lord also wants you to be open for other options as well as a teacher. You know, maybe he wants you to do this or to be flexible. Oh, no. The Lord made me a teacher, and that's what I am, just a teacher. I'm a teacher. That got me thinking, actually. And then I heard from I was talking with somebody else. I was listening to someone's podcast, or maybe their talk, and they had a real good point. You know, they said, you know, it's the love of God that's in you that loves people. The easy thing that happens is you get easily distracted thinking that people are attracted to you, when actually it's the Spirit that's drawing them to you so that you can speak to them whatever the Lord wants them to know and hear. And it's the Lord's love that comes out of you, because sometimes you wonder, why do I have such a draw for that person? They're not really my so-called kind or whatever, but and then I actually thought about that, and I find out that's really true. Actually, we're instruments in the Lord's hands, all of us. And actually, he has gifted us with all the kind of skills that are necessary for whatever he asks us to do. Yeah, if I was a singer, I could say, oh, I have this gift of being a singer because it's so outward. Everyone can see and everybody hears. But there's a lot of gifts that the Lord gives that you don't see and the Lord uses. So actually, I'm just, whatever the Lord wants done, I'm hoping that he can get it done through me, whatever it is. Like even teaching. I didn't think I would be teaching in this avenue in the last 7 or 8 years. But it's been very rewarding. I find it very much like a mission field, having students who are there and they have so many challenges. They're not there. They don't just absorb everything and say, yes, I believe. They have a lot of questions, and a lot of them go, I don't think this is, I never heard about this. I don't really, why is yours any different than anybody else's? But it's such a powerful witnessing field. But so I think my strengths are, I want to just be flexible. I don't know them. I'm glad the Lord's using me as a teacher now. Whatever it will be, he uses, and even getting to know people. I think just from the exposure of traveling in different countries, over 14 countries, meeting different nationalities, that's allowed me to have a openness. The Lord's allowed that. You see, the Lord brought that in my life to allow me to be open to anybody and everybody, so I can make a conversation with anyone. But that's not because of any skills that I have in the sense that I developed. It just came along the way, kind of as the Lord takes us to where we're going, what he wants us to do and stuff. So the Did that make any sense?
Yeah, but you know,
that's
Tim,
my answer
Tim,
to
yeah,
the
Tim, there's
different
some
skills.
people who are very reserved. No matter how, as I said, you can create conversation, you're receptive, but sometimes I get, where are you from? Singapore. How old are you? That's a bit personal. You know, that kind of thing. So, you
Oh,
know, some people are very curt, but some people are just, then sometimes it says, do you need to know where I'm from? You know, I get that because, you know, in the conversation. So it's very different.
I know. Here in Taiwan, they ask the same questions. You think they're being very personal, but it's no big deal. Yeah, but but the other thing is, the other side of the coin is they may never been exposed. A lot of people have never been outside their neighborhood. I mean, their country. And so they don't have that kind of, you know, out of the water, fish out of the water, and learning how to still survive. More you do that, the more you're in new, unfamiliar surroundings, and the more you adapt to those new surroundings, the more flexible you are when people ask you a question. You don't take it so personal. You just, you know, because you just kind of see, oh, that's their culture or that's their thing. But yes, I could see people here in Taiwan, very much so. Some people have never been outside their Taipei. They grew up in Taipei and that's it. Only ones that some of them have been out, they've gone off to Japan for holidays with their children as they've got older and they got married. So then they go off to holidays. But yeah, they're very reserved, very, very reserved. But yet there's some, they're not reserved.
But do you find that the country folks and city folks, the country folks, I think, are more open, would you say? Country folks.
Well, oh yeah, you know what? That's an interesting point. It is true. Country folks are, because they're more community. Country folks have a community. People who live in cities, they live in their house, but they don't know their neighbor 4 doors down.
Yeah. Yeah. Whereas that's right. In country folks, you know, it's how many doors away and you know who's who. So that kind of a camaraderie or, you know, community life.
Yeah. Everybody helps each other. Why? Because because when it's harvest time, it's harvest pitches in to help each other. And when there's a wedding, everybody in the area is getting invited, which is all their neighbors, so that they do know. Yeah. So that's why you would see that kind of comradeship there, because they've had that interaction a lot. But city folks are very much
to themselves and, you know, very guarded.
And it's sad because they're the ones that have a lot of loneliness. There's a real issue with loneliness, anxiety, and other issues because of that. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, your turn, David.
I just did that. Yes, I said, I mean, clarity of thought is very important. Like, you know, I'm not saying I know everything, but at least I know where I'm heading. Not because, okay, God has no, I'm going to the highway of heaven. What I mean, my daily doings and roughly what do I do in the next few years and so on and so forth. But occasionally I do forget. I get hiccups. So I do forget some of the roles my wife had to remind me. So that is one other aspect. And then as I shared also, you know, because of my, I think maybe upbringing, because I wouldn't say I'm country, but Singapore then in the 60s. And then because of my development, I'm a salesperson. So a salesperson tenderly approach the customers, right? It's not the customers come to you, hey, I want to buy. No, you got to ask, hey, I got this product, you know? So because of that training and exposure, so now with the gospel, it's like, go. Jesus said, didn't say, wait, go and that's why. But it's not easy. The part of boldness which Paul spoke about, right? That part really, I can always talk, hey, hello, how are you? What are you doing? That, but you say, to ask you, are you a Christian? What do you believe? That one is sometimes a no-no for many people. They will say it's very personal. So to me, lately I've been able to just ask, hey, are you a Christian? And then they say, oh, I believe in this. Oh, I'm this. You know, they don't feel, hey, why are you asking very personal questions? So I thank God that through that bonus, or at least that thick skin, I can ask. And of course, then my next question will be, I wouldn't say loaded, but guided towards like, hey, oh, why do you believe in this or that? And of course, because of the shortness, sometimes only 5 minutes, you can't do much. If I can exchange a number, that was an opportunity sometimes. Now, that part is not easy. So that's the thing. Other than that, I suppose like anybody else, you ask me, you say, which area? If you ask me, the fivefold. So more evangelists, more evangelists, and sometimes a little bit of shepherding. That's why there's pastorship in there. But I don't have a so-called flock with me. My flocks are overseas because I do. So I don't reckon. But that gift of empathy is there, being there. So that's it.
That's an interesting point, David. The gift of empathy. You recognize that. That's quite good. I mean, that's actually a very, thank God for that too. Thank the Lord for those gifts. That's a very gift to exercise empathy.
Yeah, it's not easy, but because you know you're going into people's territory, and then people ask, "What are you trying to do?" It's not my business. It's not your business, you know. And then I make it my business in a sense that But of course, if the guy is shut out, I can't force my way in. So that's where. But I try.
But that's where empathy comes in hand, because when you when the Lord's allowing that empathy to come through, then they feel that you care about them. You have they've sensed that there's a listening ear. Someone's listening to them. Someone's hearing them. Yeah. So that's where it opens the door for more opportunity to bring in the truth. Yeah.
But the downside, right? People take your friendliness for granted, and then they unload they ask favors from you, they this and that, expecting that is the downside of it.
Or they take up your time, like, I have nothing else to do.
Yeah, sometimes, or you are the person to go to, whenever, even just like say listening here, it's time, you got to give that time. And sometimes they ask you to do simple running errands, So that's another downside of it.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Honey, so now try. Honey, got it. So what are you? Administration person again?
I think myself easily to accept the bad thing or the poor condition of our life. We face. I face. And also to easy to adaptation, to adapt with the situation. Maybe sometimes I'm in the condition feel like disappointed with people surround me, around me, but I can easily accept the situation and try to make an adaptation with my problem, my people disappointed me, and I can what is that forget to forget the everything make me down or make me disappointed, and I can try to raise again and forget the bad situation. I think like that. Yeah, is that a strength or not?
I think that the word is adaptability and flexible. Yeah. But I think the difference is this. I like you. You are above your situation, meaning the situation is not, but my challenge is sometimes not the situation. No, I can accept this, but I can't accept the person. How come you do this type of thing? You know what I mean? That situation I can, that's life, But to have such a person, what kind of person is this, man? I may use the word, what kind of monster is this guy, man? If I may say,
Yeah,
I mean, you know, normally when you say hello to a person, you expect, but you don't say, hey, get out. You know, you don't get this that thing. So to me, situation is okay, like, you know, not easy. I can overcome or I can let go. But the person that is involved in it, I say, why do they behave like that? Or what is it that I do that cause him to behave like that? And I check myself. I said, I don't think so. I've been trying to help him or whatever, but he makes the situation worse. So
yeah.
this is where I feel, wow, I look at the situation and say, okay, God, that's not my problem. But to have such a kind of people, I say, what kind of person is this? You know, as I say, with hey, what kind of monster am I dealing with? You know, yeah. Okay, but
Okay.
it's ability. I mean, your ability to be above the situation, I think, is pretty good.
Everyone, please
Yeah.
give a chance to other
Yes, yes, of
people
course,
here,
yeah,
and
yeah.
Elisa and Chai, and repeat the questions, and they can answer the questions. Okay. Can you do that? What are you doing? Are you eating?
Me?
Are you eating?
No. I thought you give Eliza and Ancha. I'm waiting for them.
Yes.
Elisa,
Yes,
Elisa,
Pastor
okay.
Subakti.
Okay,
Yes.
do you know the strength you have? Yeah. I make specific related to the ministry. Okay. Okay. Maybe
What?
you can.
What do you want to ask me?
Do you know the strength you have related to the ministry? Yeah, you have the strength. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so you can tell us about the strength you have.
It's not boasting myself, to boasting myself. In ministry, yeah, as user, I'm also as a translator, because I mastering in Mandarin, English, yeah, of course, Indonesia, and also our Medan local Chinese language, Hokkien. Do you know Hokkien language, Pastor Subakti? Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So in the church, I can translate in these 4 languages.
Oh.
And also, because I am the lecturer, so I have the talent in teaching. As at the first time, I at the church to sharing about as a motivator, because outside I also as the motivator and trainer. The first time I sharing in the church, I am not sharing the words of God, but only to talk about the financial, to talk about investment, to talk about the motivation to the young people. But after that, I learn more and more deeper and deeper about the words of God, So the churches also asked me to sharing about the gospel, sharing about the Bible, and also teaching in the Bible. This is my strength.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Pastor.
Thanks, Elisa.
Yeah, you are welcome.
And now I give time to any Chai. Are you there, any Chai? Yeah, time is yours now.
Yeah, Mr. Subakti. Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
Shalom. Yeah, shalom,
Bo. You look very fresh today. Good morning, Mr. Tim Tarpi.
Good morning.
Yeah. Talking about the adoption in our community, I think I myself we have a ministry in Ladies of the Fellowship community. So there is so many women inside, and I think I learned.
Sorry, I only see your nose, but we don't see your mouth.
You see her beautiful forehead. Yeah, very brain.
Yeah. I'm trying to. I always learn to get myself. How to say? Yeni Chua. Membiasakan diri ya. Get used. Yeni Chua is here. Get used dealing with kind of many character in community. So it's not easy, but I learned to try to forget what is not take personality what they are talking about, only that. So we can do our ministry in how to say, I don't know how to say, in harmony lah, not in gossip. We menghindari, to avoid many gossip in community. Okay, that's all.
Okay, yeah,